Sino dito makaka-guess on when the last time the Philippines made it to the Olympics? 2000s? No. 1990s? Di pa rin. 1980s? One more try. 1972. That's the correct answer. That is exactly 52 years ago. Kaya sa video na to, gagawa tayo ng best possible Gilas lineup para mag-qualify sa 2024 Paris Olympics so that we can try ending the Olympic drought. Pero bago natin sagutin yan, we have to first understand who our opponents will be in the qualifiers. Second, sino yung mga realistic players na pwede natin kunin? Keyword, realistic. And lastly, what is Coach Tim's 4-year plan for our national team? From there, we'll be able to dissect and pick the ideal Gilas Pilipinas lineup that can compete with the world's best. Okay, game. Now, here's the current situation that we have right now. The OQT is from July 2 to 7, which will be held in Latvia. The teams that are in our zone are Brazil, Cameroon, Georgia, Latvia, and Montenegro. At dahil sobrang swerte natin, ka-group natin yung home team, which is Latvia, and Georgia, our next opponent. Since sila yung mga kasama natin sa group stage, yung lineup construction ko will be built in trying to beat those two teams that I mentioned. Sa mga hindi masyado nakakasubaybay sa Team Latvia noong FIBA World Cup, don't worry. That's the reason why I'm here to keep you guys up to speed. To go straight to the point, this country plays like the 2014 San Antonio Spurs. It is continuous ball movement and always looking for the open man for the best shot possible. Teams like that are really hard to beat dahil walang ego at walang nagpipilit na makuha yung tira niya. It is selfless basketball in the highest form. For context, they were just one shot away to beat the eventual World Cup champions in Germany during their quarter-final matchup. In an alternate universe, they could have been the ones facing Serbia in the World Cup final. So diving deeper to Team Latvia. Their main weapons are of course their passing, evident in their past World Cup outing as they were the third best team out of 32 with 24.6 assists per game. Their 3-point shooting was second in the entire field in the whole tournament, averaging a scorching hot 42.1% from deep. For context, yung Gilas was ranked 26 in threes with 29.8% only and ranked dead last in assists with 16. Not only that, their overall field goal percentage is 51.5, top 5 yan. So for their weaknesses, 29th in rebounding with 32.6 per game, blocks with only 2.8 per game, good for 17th in the entire competing teams. So sa mga nagtatanong sa comments na bakit ko ginagawang basis yung World Cup stats nila, and that's because these teams will more than likely send out the same, if not stronger teams and players in the OQT. Since this is everybody's last chance to make it in the 2024 Olympics. Wala ring NBA season during July, which means the NBA players will be available to participate kung trip nila sumali. Players to watch out for are Andres, hindi ako sure kung tama yung pag-pronounce, Grazulis, a 6'8" do-it-all forward that can score, rebound, and play make from time to time. And he was also Latvia's top scorer with 14.4 points a game, and arguably one of their best defenders in the perimeter with 1.4 steals per game, number 1 in the team. Second is Artur Zagars, 6'3" point guard who became the darling of the tournament because of how great he was in setting up his teammates. Si Zagars yung ideal point guard mo kasi pass first siya at una niyang priority is finding the best possible shot para sa kanyang koponan. He averaged 11 points a game along with 7.4 assists and efficient shooting splits with 48.6% from the field and 41% from 3. And last but not the least is Davis Bertans, the Latvian Laser. Currently plays for the OKC Thunder but undeniably was one of the leaders of this Latvian squad that defied all expectations. He made 38% of his 3-point shots on 7.9 attempts per game. Okay, next country is Team Georgia. So Georgia naman is going to be a battle of size. Sa 12-man roster nila in the last World Cup, only 4 players were below 6'5". The 8 remaining players in Goga Bitadze and Sandro Mamukilashvili. Unlike the Latvians, if you do a head-to-head with the stats with Team Philippines, hindi masyado nakakalayo yung production ng dalawang teams, with even Gilas outscoring and out-rebounding Georgia by a good margin. But knowing guys like ito si Mamu, a 6'10" forward who plays for the Spurs right now, he can play both in the perimeter and attack the rim with force. We need to find players that can at least make it difficult, a lot of problems to Gilas. So again, to summarize our two opponents, Latvia's strengths are ball movement, 3-point shooting, off-ball movement. Ibang ball movement sa off-ball movement. The off-ball movement is the player's ball movement is the actual ball. Weaknesses, rebounding, and paint defense, while Georgia's strengths are size, utilizing the pick and roll, and front court depth. Weaknesses, turnovers, and 3-point shooting. Now that we know that, it's time to form our 12-man roster for the OQT. Although it is important to know that this is Coach Tim Cohn's ideal vision and plan for our national team, kailangan nyo panoorin to or else di nyo magigets yung lineup.
So we're trying to minimize the amount of preparation that we need to go into each window. We also wanted veterans and young guys because we understand this is something that we want to keep for hopefully 4 years. And so we wanted some youth, and we got that in Carl Tamayo and Kevin Kimbao and Kai Soto, AJ Edu. We're trying to think of this program as a 4-year program. We want this team to be like a team, like a pro or PBA team or even a college team where you keep it together and you let it grow through its successes.
Okay, alam nyo na yung tatlong pagbabasehan ng roster construction ng Gilas Pilipinas. Let's first start with our naturalized player, and I feel like this is going to be Justin Brownlee. Unpopular opinion kasi alam ko marami sa inyo na may gusto siguro kay Jordan Clarkson because why not? Since he's an NBA player. Pero dahil nga si Tim Cohn yung coach natin who prioritizes minimizing the amount of preparation needed for each FIBA window, malabong kunin niya si Clarkson unless JC just miraculously makes himself available as soon as the NBA regular season is done, which is unlikely to happen since gusto niya na magpahinga siguro. Anyway, guards Scottie Thompson for familiarity sa system, Renzo Bando for defense and attacking the rim, CJ Perez, Dwight Ramos for some two-way players, wings Justin Brownlee, Calvin Oftana, Carl Tamayo, Jamie Malonzo, Kevin Kimbao. In our front court, Kai Soto, AJ Edu, and Justin Baltazar. Matagal ko na pinag-isipan si Junmar Fajardo if ilalagay ko ba siya sa Olympic roster, pero just in case na hindi pwede si Balti, siya naman yung papalit if ever. This team, I believe, checks all the boxes in order to give Latvia and Georgia a good fight. Our players are quick enough and multifaceted to keep up with the speed and quickness of the Latvians, while the size of Kai, Edu, Balti, Tamayo, KQ, Malonzo, and Brownlee will help us against the size of the Georgians. Again, this roster is just for the FIBA OQT on July 2. Anything can happen in the next 3 years beyond 2024, but since CTC said he wants to minimize the amount of preparation time when it comes to building our team, I believe this is the closest prediction I can think of. Si Balti yung quote-unquote new guy na isasama nila dito because the rest would have already played for Coach Tim. Alam ko na marami pa tayong talented players like SJ Belangel, RJ Barrientos, Matty Wright, Jordan Heading, and the list goes on. Ang masasabi ko lang dyan is they will have their time. I'm sure CTC and the coaching staff plus SBP have those players under their radar, but slowly in time, masasama na sila sa preparations and be acclimated with the new Gilas Pilipinas. In short, that's for a new video, kaya mag-subscribe na kayo. Peace.